Hey, my Capricorn babies, what's happening? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot. I hope everybody is having a decent week. It's the last full week of Mercury retrograde. Stations direct next Tuesday, which is also election day in the United States. Yay. Y'all are going through some things. I was actually getting ready to read for Sagittarius, because it felt like Sagittarius energy. And as I usually do on the regular, I leave my center and my challenges up after I've shuffled all the cards, counted the cards back in, done everything I was supposed to do. And when I put those cards back in this deck, Capricorn just hit me in the head. So we are doing Capricorn for the month of November 2020. Yeah, this shit right here. Yeah, this is the ending of something. So let's get with this, because it feels like y'all just struggling. This is week 1 and 2. The front end and the back end of your overall energy. And there's your damn challenge. The 3 of Wands. Having foresight. I just did a personal reading for somebody in this. You're going to have some foresight about your situation. You're going to have some long-term planning in mind to get in or out of. Yep, there's that Hangman. Yeah, it's a Knight of Swords. Yeah. Unforeseen events. And that this is in your overall energy means that you're dealing with right now unforeseen events as I speak. Stuff you weren't expecting. Some of you may be in situations you can't get out of. Some of you may be reflecting on situations that you still have some ties to, and you really don't want to have those ties, that kind of shit. And that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen, lies and deceit. So your challenge is to have some foresight and get past the lies. Some of y'all may be listening to somebody telling you something, and you know what they're telling you is not true, but in order to keep the peace or for the status quo, you are turning a blind eye or your back, if you will, to the situation. And yeah, that part. So let's get into this. There is major energy on the board. You got the Lover's card. You got the Magician. The Hangman up here. And the World card. So this is the beginning, the Emperor and the Strength. So yeah, this is the beginning of the end of something. Work that part out. This is the beginning of the end, because you are it just feels like you are the setbacks. So if the Strength card were in the reverse, I'm sorry, I don't do reverses, or just pick up on the energy, but if it were reversed, it's almost as if you're powerless to get out of the situation, and you don't feel like you got any kind of determination to get out of it, because it's serving some kind of purpose. However that's resonating. As grandmama used to say, eat the fish, leave the damn bones. Take what's yours. Leave the rest on the table. And literally, some of y'all need to do that. You need to take that responsibility for what belongs to you and leave the rest of it on the table and let the other person deal with the fallout. Looking at the first week of November, starting this coming Sunday, the Lover's card on top of the World card, becoming aware of your situation. not just of the other person. You're already aware of them, but becoming aware having full understanding of, oh man, where they're coming from. The back end of this is talking about letting go of illusions. So you probably hit this point already, and so now you are becoming just fully aware of the situation. Now, you see thing up here with all the light. There's some divine intervention going on, and you may not see this manifested just yet, but just trust and believe. Start following your intuition with regards to whatever this is about. Now, for some of you, this is not romantic. This could be a job, and you are becoming aware of some bullshit on top of some bullshit. That part. I would use this as an indicator to start planning. That's what I would do. Know that you fulfilled your purpose wherever you happen to be, and this is the beginning of the end of it, and start shutting things down. With the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Wands sitting on top, you're going to be thinking about sacrifices that you've made. You just are. And if you kind of look at him, you're kind of looking at his back. He's kind of sideways, backwards, that thing. You're going to be thinking about the sacrifices that you've made to get where you are. Some of you might be disappointed, but with that disappointment, with the Ten of Pentacles from this deck, you're talking about the wisdom. So the sacrifice, most instances, when you sacrifice, you get some wisdom. That's just good shit. The sacrifice is not easy. When you got to give up something for the good or betterment of the collective, and then you find out the collective really just don't give a damn that you even sacrificed. So you're going to come into this. Some of you, this may create a strange kind of friction between you and whomever the other party is. And it won't start as a verbal thing. It will just become a situation where the environment or the atmosphere gets a little tense. So you may just want to, if you look at this and just look at the picture, you know, that could turn ugly quickly. All them people down there, he's sitting up on that horse, you know, he just only has to call the wrong king's name and they'd be all over him. So it's that kind of tension that's going to be in the air. Be your cool self, Capricorn. Be your cool self. Don't get twisted. Don't get caught up in no shit. Don't get bogged down with a whole lot of nonsense. Be your cool self. Do what you do. If anything, Capricorn, overall, y'all about your grind and about your work and whatever it is that you're interested in. Maybe you want to, knowing that this is going on, maybe you want to shift your attention at some point to something that brings you some kind of peace or joy so you can have some perspective. It's the Hangman up here on what's going on overall, so you don't get bogged down in the details. At the end of the first week with the Six of Coins on top of the Three of Swords, yeah, just what I said. Stepping back, just be cool. You already know the bullshit, and the indication to me with the coins up there is that you will see each and every incident, attitude, whatever, of what's going on. You will see it. You will see it. It will hit you square up in your head like, hey, you remember this happened? And that's just going to bring you disappointment because, again, especially if this is a romantic situation, you went into this with good expectations and you put a lot of good intent into this, but the other person didn't give a damn, or the other parties were just in this to get what they could get out of it. That's it. You get to the second week. don't know. She's been coming up this way a lot. But this may be a good time to do some inner reflection on what brought y'all together. And now I'm not even dealing with the meaning of the card. I'm just looking at the symbolism of the red and the white coming together. And then here we got this, all by her lonesome. That part, doing some reflection. You I hate to say this, I mean, because sometimes things just sound crass, but I'm not trying to be crass. But you played a part in this. So in order not to do this again, because I feel like some of y'all are really strapped in terms of your resources and the time that you can really spend dealing with this particular situation, because you're beginning to realize how much time you've already spent. So might be just time, and there may be something during the second, possibly third week of November that might just automatically kick this in for you. This is the moon card, so that's major energy to just stop and do some inner reflection. Think about your boundaries. Think about your boundaries. What part of the camp is yours? And what part of the camp did you let somebody get on? We're in football season, encroachment, if you will. What part of this did you just leave wide open? Something to think about. Again, that brings up that inner reflection. With the Magician, on top of the Eight of Swords, some of you may have a fear of moving forward. You may feel, the Magician is also about foundational things. You may feel like, damn, I thought we had this shit together. And there may be, this might be the opening up here from the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, where I'm telling you that energy is kind of charged. This might be the opening for conversation. I'm looking at that falling star and that infinity sign. This might be the opening for some conversation, some dialogue, some real conversation. And I think whoever the other parties are or person, they're going to open up, because they're going to feel like it's like a badge to them. They're going to have to just tell you where the breakdown was. For some of you, you may be dealing with other earth signs. That's strong energy. Taurus or Virgo, or maybe even other Capricorns. Others of you may be dealing with fire signs. So just kind of think about how this person interacts, especially in confrontational type situations. I'm not saying this is confrontational, but they may take it that way. And don't forget, you're still in Mercury retrograde too. So, you might be coming at something with the best intention, and they might be hearing blah, 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 blah. So you may have to adjust how you're delivering your message if and when the time for conversation, I'm pretty sure, comes up. Looking at the third and the fourth week. Yeah, there's your Chariot, there's your Sun. There you go. The High Priestess, the Queen of Cups, the back end, Knight of Pentacles, pulling the Star card, Six of Pentacles. Ooh, all this major energy, pulling the Death card. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Death card. Yeah, just what I'm talking about. Letting go of dependent ties. But what I'm looking at is old girl back here just kind of off doing her thing. And that's what this feels like. This other person is just kind of like, hey, I'm going to do me. Goodbye. I don't care that you got hurt today. And that's fucked up. That's real fucked up. And whoever it is doing it, if this is resonating with you, whoever this is that's doing this, They just don't know the wrath of Capricorn, and that's kind of bad. It's kind of really fucked up, but okay. So looking at the third week, looking at the back end of the Queen of Cups sitting on top of the High Priestess, you find a natural spot where you feel like you need to start listening to yourself, for yourself, and not listening to yourself for how you can help somebody else. That part. You literally turning your back. In this direction, it's about the lack of spontaneity. But yeah, you turning your back on making considerations for this situation and start making considerations for yourself. The front end of this is about your sensuality and affection. So for some of you, this may very well be just a cold ass cutoff for sex. Period. That part. But sitting on top of the High Priestess, always intuition, that inner guidance, being able to set your sights, laser sights on what the plan is. Again, knowing that you're working in an environment of lies and deceit, and trying to have some foresight about what needs to go on from where you are. With the Star card sitting on top of the Knight of Pentacles, it's about the detachment. And again, for some of you, the sex might be good. Having the inner strength to slow you down so you can detach yourself from this little situation. And then that just brings us right on over here to the Death card. Letting go of dependent ties. Exactly. On the head. Just cutting it loose. And not feeling like you're settling for second best. That part. So that energy just kind of flows. And it's just a feeling that for those of you that are hearing this, by the time you get closer to the end of the month, you're not going to have all this kind of anxiety, emotional, in the head feeling. You're going to have a very good feeling of what direction you need to go in and how you need to get there. Again, foresight, planning, projecting out, plotting your steps basically for your next move. The last week, the King of Cups, it says infidelity, but it's not just that. It's a complete, I don't know, emotional disappointment. That's what I'll say. This is Cups. Emotional disappointment of this not happening. And there may be, once you get to a certain point and you know you're actually going to have to cut it loose for real, and there's no more illusory analyzing going on in your head where you just concrete, solid earth sign, no, it's time to go. That's when you just realize the infidelity of the whole damn situation. Not just that any infidelity occurred, but just how out of pocket it was. And again, about your boundaries. What part of your back gate did you leave open for this to happen? With the Four of Pentacles, the back end sitting on the Sun, you may need to just relax once you get into this and find comfort in the fact that you have a game plan, hence the Sun, and you may have to just turn your back to whatever bullshit happens to be coming your way and grind down. Just grind down and don't get stuck. Stagnation. Don't get stuck listening to the Shanana. just grind down and do what you're going to do. Get in your sun, get in your groove. Put your earbuds on and keep it moving. And there may be some significant activity around the end of the month that you may need to remember you need to keep moving. And it could be going through retrograde shadow. Person might be trying to circle back around. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to. Yeah, okay. Turn your back to that shit. Don't get stuck where you are. The potential is there for this. Even if this is a job, the potential is there to get into this comfort zone of, oh, I was just having a moment, and it'll be so brief. You're going to wonder why you took your attention off what you were doing in the first place. At the end of this, the Eight of Wands sitting on top of the King of Wands, you will, as you close one door, others open. And so you will begin to encounter new energy towards the end of November, first part of December. Try not to let too much of this other stuff get all up in this, and just know you manifest stuff. Hopes at the lightest speed, baby. That thing. You can do this. And it's not about lightning striking twice somewhere. No. If you learn a lesson here, new and different will be new and different. Just that simple. Be open to different. If you see Pegasus sitting up there, be open to different as well. Maybe some of you maybe your list is too narrow, even if that's a job. Maybe you've got it focused in too closely, and maybe you need to open it up some, and give yourself some breathing room. That doesn't mean you should not have boundaries, though. So make sure your boundaries are in place, but make sure you're giving yourself enough breathing room, and not restricting your vision for what you want to happen. Let's see. Cleaning house. Well, hello. Ain't that what we talking about? Cleaning house. Encouragement. Education. Yeah, pretty much sums it up. Clean the house. That's what you're trying to do. Whatever it is, relationship, stinky job, whatever. You're cleaning house. So this is the universe telling you, yeah, it's time. It's time. If you thought it wasn't, it is. Seek out your friends. You know what I'm talking about, the good friends. Get the encouragement and the support that you need, so you don't feel like you're going through this bullshit by yourself. Do that. It's there for you. Again, another message from the universe. Go seek it. It's there. And then learn what you need to learn from this situation. Take the time. Even if you are kicking it up a notch socially, still take time to just, kind of reflect on what the fuck was that. And let's not do the fuck again, that part. Pick the good parts out. Pick the good parts out. If there are any, some of you may not even see any good points or parts until later down the road. But if you can, do it and then let it go. Capricorn, I love you. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.